Hello students, hope you all are fine. Welcome to the 10th standard social science class. Today we are going to learn about development. So before starting the lesson, I want you to get ready with a notebook, a pen and your NCERT textbook today. Are you ready children? So let us begin the class. The name of the lesson is development. So let us see what are we going to read in this chapter today. So before beginning the topic, I want to say that development has many aspects. The purpose of this chapter is to enable you to understand what development means. What perspectives do different people have about development? So people have different perspectives, as I said, on development, and there are ways in which we can arrive at common indicators for development. So we are going to read different situations, to understand the concept of development. How can countries or states can be compared using some selected development indicators are going to be answered in this lesson. And economic development can be measured, and income is the most common method for measuring development. However, the income method, though useful, has several weaknesses. Hence, we have newer ways of looking at development using indicators of quality of life and environmental sustainability. So, we are going to read many aspects of development over here. So, the idea of development or progress has always been with us. We have aspirations or desires about what we would like to do and how we would like to live. Similarly, we have ideas about what a country should be like. What are the essential things that we require? Can life be better for all? Can there be more equality? Development involves thinking about these questions and about the ways in which we can work towards achieving this goals. So let us see what is development first. So as I have told you, the idea of development or progress has always been with us. We have aspirations or desires about what we would like to do and how we would like to live. Development for different people. So, we are going to see this later. But still we have something to read about development children. So, this is a complex task, and here we shall make the beginning of understanding development first. Then we will learn about the issues in depth in the later classes maybe. We are going to find various answers based upon different situations. So, let us see the examples now. So, development for different people. So, there are different categories of people available. We can see different categories of people around us. I mean to say different occupations. Like let us see the case of a landless rural laborer. So, what could be development for him? More days of work and better wages. So, if you see from the view of a landless rural laborer, development for him means he should get more days of work and better wages. Another thing is he wants a local school which can provide education for his children. So these are the two development goals, or these are two development aspects which a landless rural laborer looks into. More days of work and better wages, and a local school which is able to provide education for their children. Let us take the case of a prosperous farmer. He needs assured high family income through higher support prices for their crops. Clear? So these are the different goals of two different classes of people. A girl from a rich urban family. What kind of goals or what kind of development goals can she have? She wants a much freedom as a brother and is able to decide what she wants to do in life. So we have seen the developmental goals of three different people. A landless laborer, a rich farmer, a girl from a rich urban family. So different persons can have different developmental goals. what may be development for one may not be development for the other. Sometimes a development for one may be a destructive thing for the other. So let us see the example if we have one over here. Okay, so as I told you, developmental goal for one can be a bad thing for the other part of the society. So let us see an example over here. Okay, so you will understand by the help of this fantabulous example. For example, to get more electricity, industrialists may want dams. Do you understand this? For example, if a big industrialist is there, he wants to start a company, manufacturing company, he needs water. For that he may construct a dam. But this may submerge the land and disrupt the lives of people who are displaced, such as tribals. This might resent this, so they might resent this and may prefer small check dams or tanks to irrigate their land. Do all these people have the same notion of development or progress? The answer is obviously no. So we got to know that different peoples or people can have different development goals, and may be the development for other can be destructive for someone else. So there are various goals which people actually see. But we come to one conclusion over here, that different persons can have different developmental goals, and two, which may be development for one may not be development for the other. It may even be destructive for someone else. What people desire generally are regular work, better wages, decent prices for their crops and other products they produce. In other words, generally people need more income. So there are many aspects also which we look into development. Okay, there are many parameters to judge development. So besides seeking more income, one way or the other, people also seek different things like equal treatment, freedom, security and respect of others. They actually don't like discriminated. All these are important goals. In fact, in some cases, these may be important more than the income or more consumption, because material goods are not all that you need to live. Money or material things that one can buy with it is one factor on which our life depends. But the quality of our life also depends on non-material things. It is not obvious to you. If it is not obvious to you, then think of the role of your friends in your life. You may desire their friendship. Similarly, there are many things that are not easily measurable, but they mean a lot to your lives. They are often ignored. We have seen that besides seeking more income, people also seek things like equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect of others. They resent discrimination. In some cases, they may be more important than income, because material goods are not all that you need in life. Money or material factors can buy with it. Is one factor on which our life depends, because it means to say that money is only one factor on which our life depends, but it is not everything. But the equality of our life also depends on non-material things. There are many things that are not easily measured, but they mean a lot to our lives. Let us take an example over here. Okay? If you get a job in a far off place, before accepting it, you would try to consider many factors. Apart from income, such as facilities for your family, working atmosphere, or opportunity to learn. In another case, a job may give you less pay but may offer regular employment that enhances your sense of security. Another job, however, may offer high pay but no job security, and also leave no time for your family. This will reduce your sense of security and freedom. So here you are in a dilemma to choose which job. You want a secure job or a non-secure job? Do you want a less paid job or a highly paid job? Similarly, for development, people look at a mix of goals. It is true. Let us see. If women are engaged in paid work, their dignity in the household and society increases. There would be more sharing of housework and a greater acceptance of women working outside. A safe and secure environment may allow more women to take up a variety of jobs or run a business. How to compare different countries or states is the question now. So individuals actually seek different goals, then their notion of national development is also likely to be different. It is very important to keep in mind that different persons could have different as well as conflicting notions of a country's development. We use different criteria to choose a sports team, a music team, a debate team, or to organize a picnic. Usually, we take one or more important characteristics of persons and compare them based on these. For comparing countries, their income is considered to be one of the most important attributes. Greater income is considered to be important goal. Greater income is considered to be one important goal. Whatever people like and should have, they will be able to get with greater income. I mean to say that if people have greater income, then they can enjoy the facilities more, material facilities more. Comparison of different countries or states. Comparison of countries are basically based on their income. That is, its basic attribute of comparison. Countries with higher income are more developed than those with less income. Here, more income means more of things available that human beings need. Usually we take one or more important characteristics to compare persons. The same way, for comparing countries also, we should take not only income but many things. For comparison between countries, if we take only income, total income is not such a useful measure actually. Since countries have different populations, comparing total income will not tell us what an average person is likely to earn. So, if we compare just the income, we will not know what an average person earns. Since countries have different populations, as I told you, comparing total income will not tell us what an average person is likely to earn. Are people in one country better off than others in a different country? Hence, we compare the average income of the country, which is the total income of the country divided by its total population. We come to average income, how? By dividing the total income of the country by the total population. So the average income is also called per capita income. We shall see it in the next slide also. Okay. So in the World Development Report brought out by World Bank, the criterion used is countries with per capita income of 4,53,000 per annum and above in 2004 are called rich countries. Remember this, children? Countries with per capita income of rupees 4,53,000 per annum and above in 2004 are called rich countries. Those with per capita income of rupees 37,000 or less are called low income countries. So let us see where India stands. India comes under low income countries because its per capita income is 2004, which was just 28,000 per annum. So the rich countries are generally called developed countries. Then India is called a developing country. India is called a developing country. India is called as a developing country. So how to find the income of the country? How to find the income of the country is the question over here. The answer is simple. To find the income, we take the average income, which is the total income of the country and is divided by the particular country's population. The average income is also called as per capita income. Let us see an example over here. So let us take the case of these two countries, okay? So Let us consider two countries A and B. For the sake of simplicity, we have assumed that they have only 5 citizens each. Based on data given in this table, you can see we are going to calculate the average income for both the countries. Will you be equally happy to live in both these countries? Are both equally developed? Perhaps some of us may like to live in country B if we are assured of being its 5th citizen. But if it is a lottery that decides our citizenship number, then perhaps most of us will prefer to live in a country A. Even though you can see the graph, you can see the table, even though both the countries have identical average income, country A is preferred because, see, it has more equitable distribution. In this country, people are neither very rich nor extremely poor. On the other hand, most citizens in country B are poor and one person is extremely rich. You can see B, fifth citizen, 48,000. Clear? The income of the 5th person is 48,000, while the other is 500, 500, 500 and 500. Okay? Now, hence while average income is used for comparison, it does not tell us how this income is distributed among people. How this income is distributed among people. Clear? From this it can be clear that only average income can't give the conclusion of the development of a country. Income and other criteria. Income and other criteria. We are going to compare just three states over here to find out the income and other criteria. To find the developed state besides income, other criteria are also kept in mind. Let us take the example of Punjab, Kerala and Bihar. Punjab, Kerala and Bihar. So, Punjab, the per capita income of Punjab is 26,000. Kerala, 22,800. And that of Bihar is 5,700. It is 5,700. Let us see what it shows. Clear? So, when you see, there is a lot of difference of per capita income between Punjab, Kerala and Bihar. So, we are going to see the state IMR ratio of Punjab, Kerala and Bihar. Punjab, Kerala and Bihar. So, IMR is nothing but the infant mortality rate. It indicates the number of children that die before the age of 1 year as the proportion of 100 live children born in that particular year. So we can see from this table that Kerala is a developed state among these three and Bihar is the least developed state. So public activities. What are public activities or public facilities? We are going to see. Money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you may need to live well. Money cannot purchase a pollution-free environment. It cannot give you unadulterated medicines. It can't protect you from infectious diseases. As we have seen, Kerala has low infant mortality rate because it has adequate provision of basic health and educational facilities. So income by itself is not a complete adequate indicator of material goods and services that citizens are able to use. The problem here does not end with IMR. Okay, actually, for many of important things in life, the best way also, the cheapest way is to provide these goods and services collectively, like best education, best health facilities and all those things. What if no one other than you in your village or locality is interested in studying? Would you be able to study? No, not unless your parents could afford to send you to some private school elsewhere. So, you are actually able to study because, remember, many other children also want to study and because many people believe that education is a must for the children. If all the parents think that education is waste and only if your parents think that education is must, then you can't go to a school, because they can't, the government cannot open a school for only you. In many areas, children, particularly girls, are not able to achieve secondary level education because government or society has not provided adequate facilities. I'm going to repeat about Kerala. Kerala has a low IMR mortality because it has adequate provision of basic health and education. In some states, we'll see what is in store. In some states, the public distribution system functions very well. Health and nutritional status of people in such states is likely to be better. One way to find out if adults are undernourished is to calculate what is called body mass index. Take the weight in kg, then take the height in meters, divide the weight by the square of the height. Remember, you should take the weight only in kgs and the height should be in meters. After taking the weight in kg and height in meters, divide the weight by the square of the height. You will get BMI or body mass index. How you are going to analyze the result? If the answer is less than 18.5, then the person would be considered undernourished. And if this BMI is more than 25, then a person is overweight. And this criteria is not applicable for growing children. Remember this. This criteria is not applicable for growing children. Human Development Index. Who publishes this? We are going to see now. HDI or Human Development Index is published by the United Nations Development Program. It compares countries based on the educational levels of people, their health status and per capita income. Three things are taken into consideration to compare the development of countries. First is educational levels, second health status, third is the per capita income. It would be interesting to look at relevant data regarding India and its neighbors from Human Development Report 2006. So we are going to see the report now. Okay. So we are comparing the per capita income, life expectancy at birth, literacy rate, gross enrollment ratio. So where the country stands in the world HDI rank in the report. Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh. Okay, HDI stands for Human Development Index. HDI ranks in above table are out of 177 countries. Okay, life expectancy of birth denotes, as the name suggests, the average expected length of life of a person at the time of birth. Per capita income is calculated in dollars for all countries so that it can be compared. It is not counted in rupees. Remember, it is counted in dollars. It is also done in a way so that every dollar would buy the same amount of goods and services in any country. So this is published by the HDI. Okay, HDI report 2014. We'll see the result. From this you can see that a small country in our neighborhood Sri Lanka is much ahead of India in every aspect, and a big country like us has such a low rank in the world ranking. The table clearly shows that Nepal has less than half the per capita income of India, yet it is not far behind India in life expectancy and literacy levels. Many improvements have been suggested in calculating HDI and many new components have been added to HD report, but by prefixing human to development. It has made it very clear that what is important in development is what is happening to the citizens of a country. It is people, their health, their well-being that is most important. Do you think there are certain other aspects that should be considered in measuring human development? So as we have seen from the slides or from the chart, it is very much clear that from the table, a small country Sri Lanka is much ahead of India in every respect. Nepal has half the per capita income of India, yet it is not far behind India in life expectancy and literacy levels. Sustainability of development. What is this? Since the second half of 20th century, a number of scientists have been warning that the present type and levels of development are not sustainable. So sustainable development is nothing but we have to develop the society or the environment in such a way so that it is not going to harm the present and it will store something for the future generations to come. Renewable sources like groundwater are replenished by nature. The renewable resources are replenished by nature. And groundwater also. Recent evidence suggests that the groundwater is a serious threat of overuse in many parts of the country. About 300 districts have reported a water level decline of over 4 meters during the past 20 years. Nearly one-third of our country is overusing their groundwater reserves. In another 25 years, 60% of the country would be doing the same if the present way of using this resource continues. Groundwater overuse is particularly found in agriculturally prosperous regions of Punjab and western UP, hard rock plateau areas of central and south India, some coastal areas and the rapidly growing urban settlements. So the questions to be asked are why groundwater is overused and can there be development without the overuse of groundwater? These are the questions which many people are pondering today. So groundwater or the renewable resources are replenished by nature as in the case of crops and plants. In the case of groundwater, if you use more than what is required or what can be replenished by rain, then we will be overusing this particular resource. Non-renewable resources cannot be replenished as they have a fixed stock on earth. We do discover new resources, but over time, even this will get exhausted. Children, with this, we come to the end of the lesson development. Hope you are reading well at home and do complete your homeworks in time. Thank you, children.